Can we get some enthusiasm from you, Mr. Boylan? It might be the only time we hear it this episode.
Cause we're recording for the fifth period plot. Now Boylan's on the full-time squad. You know that we're recording for the fifth period plot. And we no longer hide that we're on. Living in a fifth period world. Living in a fifth period world. Living in a fifth period world. Living in a fifth period world.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fifth Period, the film podcast hosted by two media teachers, where today we are assembling the minions and heading to the moon. My name is Mr. Brown, and with me, as always, is
Mr. Boylan. I don't have
no
a special...
fun variation.
There's no fun variation from me today.
Fair enough. The film's fun enough for you and all your nicknames. Crickets.
Absolute
crickets. In addition to our main discussion of Despicable Me today, we are also going to be talking about some tantalising trailers. So if you want to skip ahead to that segmente, I will leave time codes in the description below.
Hello, it's Bei Bei, and today we're gonna be talking about Despicable Me.
A big thank you to Bei Bei for his intro to the pod today. He is in my form group. I don't actually teach Bei Bei, but I'm glad I get to see him every morning for form. He, even though you're not so keen on this movie, he was so keen that he was asking, can we just continue the movie in form? Our form only goes for about 5 minutes, so we'll just watch the movie in 5-minute segments.
Next term, you'll finish watching it.
Yeah, exactly right. But he's also a bit of an action film buff. He's keen to check out Fury and Top Gun Maverick, he was saying.
Yes, on the docket.
Yeah, but no time. He's a busy guy.
Clearly, he's busy watching Despicable Me in 5-minute excerpts.
Segments.
And he's too busy having a really cool name.
Yeah, I know, it's so good.
He wins.
So good. But hopefully he'll get to those very, very soon. But thank you heaps, mate, for your very energetic intro to today's pod.
Thanks, baby.
Alrighty, let's jump in. So we kick things off in Egypt. And look, I love how good this looks. You must, even if you're not a huge fan of the movie, the animation is great.
It does look pretty fun and whimsical and inviting as a world. But yes, we start off in around the Great Pyramid, and then we've got sort of a family who are trying to take a photo, and they realise they're missing one key member of the family. He's gone and done a runner.
Yeah, so the father of the tourist group is the very jarring and recognisable voice of Jack McBrayer from 30 Rock. Mm-hmm. So he's someone who, as soon as his voice is used in the film, because it's so identifiable, I just assume it's got to be the stock character that he always plays, that like nerdy type character. But we do get him returning later on as the person running the stall at the
alien
carnival.
shootout.
I don't think it suits the character that he's playing in this intro.
No.
Quick, honey, take my picture. I got the pyramid in my hand.
But as you say, the kid is running off from the family. He got away from his leash.
He did, and he scoots up the scaffold to try to basically get a little bit closer to the Great Pyramid. And security guards are in tow, and they sort of chase him off the edge, and he does take a bit of a tumble.
Oh, there he goes.
And you think, the kid's tumbling to his doom, but he bounces back up because the Great Pyramid's turned into a jumping castle. Something you'd find at the Royal Melbourne Show or something.
The big inflatable replica, and we get a smash cut to the newscaster. The Great Pyramid of Giza has been stolen. And we get some fun nods to other iconic landmarks from different countries.
The Great Beer or something in America.
The Big Beer, yeah. Oh, is that America or is that Australia? I thought it was supposed to be Australia.
Who knows?
It's the Big Beer. Come on, mate.
A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic.
We do have big things in Australia.
We do have big beers.
Shout out to the giant prawn.
Delicious beers. We meet our protagonist, Gru, the evil villain played by Steve Carell. How do you feel about his accent? Because it's pretty iconic.
Very much so. I was like, he's consistent. I'll say that.
Well, I don't know if he is consistent with the accent.
Isn't he?
It's nondescript European.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil European villain.
That's it.
Which is perfect sort of the type of world that this movie is set in, I think.
It's a very whimsical world.
It is. And then but we get the cool sort of funky Despicable Me Pharrell track, which is awesome. I love this song.
It really is.
Been having a bad day. Woo!
He's crumping in here, just like Gru at the end of this film.
You true. I'm like the minion who's doing the...
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh, you're missing gold here. If only it was a video pod. I find it really funny that Pharrell Williams is scoring a villain in this movie when the song that he's so famous for is a song called
Sad.
Happy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Happy. Sorry.
This kid. You're trying to derail every which way you can.
I'm despicable. It's fine.
But no, he's not even really having a bad day because he's freeze raying.
No, he's
people.
firing his freeze ray.
But he's popping balloons, cutting across traffic. He's doing his villainous activity, but it's
truly villainous. He's terrifying. Oh my goodness. Steve Carell, stop.
He's off the chain. So he tries to tell off his neighbour for leaving little dog bombs on his front lawn.
Little bombs.
Little dog bombs. And
sounds like Alan coming in Goldeneye.
Yeah, well, that's what he's going for here.
He's invincible.
Sure. But the neighbour's like, oh, you know dogs, they go wherever they want to go. Yes, unless they're dead. Just the really loud laugh in his face. It's good fun. It's fun.
We have fun.
One thing that I really like about the house, really scary and villainous on the outside, very bright and warm and inviting on the inside. A nice little metaphor for Gru himself.
Yes. But anyway, we're introduced to the gals. They're selling the cookies.
The cookies.
And he gets them with the old, I'm a recording gag.
Yeah. Goodbye, recorded message. One detail that I thought was quite nice that I hadn't noticed before, you can see framed newspaper articles in his house of the villainous things that he's done in the past. And it really highlights that he's kind of past his prime. But he hears that the pyramids have been stolen. His assistant, Dr. Nefario, tells him they've been stolen, and he assembles the minions. And you don't really like the minions, do you?
They're fine.
I love them. They were the most engaging part for me when I first watched this.
It speaks volumes about the film.
Yeah. But obviously they're a successful group of characters. They've had spin-offs, sequels, all sorts of things. And I just think it's really fun, physical comedy for younger kids. They're very, very engaging in that regard.
I agree with that. How I feel about this film is that, I'm clearly not the demo for it, and that's okay.
But they're very popular films.
But very popular films, and particularly understand why the youth like them. And particularly the minions. They're a bit silly.
They're a bit silly.
They're a bit silly, and I don't mind a little bit silly, but sometimes I like a bit of silly with a little bit of subtle smart. And that's why this film doesn't always land for me. I was waiting for there's a few gags and a couple of one that's coming up pretty quickly that I highly enjoy. But there's just needed more of that. Yeah,
okay, fair enough. So now that the pyramids have been stolen, Gru wants a new big score to re-establish himself as one of the greats again.
Yes, going to move past the old the Times Square Jumbotron.
Yes.
And then the Statue of Liberty.
The small one from Las Vegas. And I won't even mention the Eiffel Tower. Also Vegas.
Good stuff.
It is good. My favourite part of this scene is when the minions are getting so psyched up that they can't even wait for it.
Yeah,
and then he shoots off the rocket line.
Dave, listen up, please.
We get a bit of a lead up to it, and he reveals his big plan.
Pause for effect.
Yes, and we had a big old pause for effect.
That was pretty fun.
So in Film Club, when it gets to the part where he goes, we're going to steal their moon, and he freezes with the moon lighting him in the background, it actually froze. We were having some connectivity issues at school.
That was a rough day.
We were having a bad day. And the kids all cheered, and it just froze. And we just waited there for about 5 minutes or so until it kicked back in.
And then the minions applauded, and then the
kids applauded.
Again.
It was great. Good fun. But we get a nice transition here from the moon to, again, the girls coming home from selling cookies for the day.
Miss Hattie's something home for girls or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
She sucks.
Well, she sucks as a person, but as a character, I love this. So we go... First of all, Agnes coming in with her adorable, did anyone come to adopt us while we were out?
Let me think. No.
She's cold-blooded. You're never going to get adopted, Edith. You know that, don't you?
Just
Yeah.
It's damn, okay.
But I'm loving this kind of southern twang that she's putting on for her character.
I do too.
It's pretty fun. So yeah, as you say, Kristen Wiig playing this character returns in the sequel film, not as Miss Hattie, but as Lucy, the romantic interest for
Yeah,
Gru.
that's what confused me, because I was like, I saw in the cast list, I was like, Kristen Wiig, and she's playing Miss Hattie. Does Miss Hattie become the love interest? Obviously, because there's a bit of a bit of flanter, a bit of flirty banter.
No.
No, it's just a different character.
Different character. And it's not that uncommon in animated films, especially in sequel films, for people to return to play different roles. I guess with the random voices and stuff that are cropping up in this, I wonder if it was just, we're getting people who are regularly doing stuff for the studio or SNL types that are around. People who were actually in the 30 Rock building just recording lines. Probably a little bit of that. Maybe they enjoyed their working relationship and they decided, let's keep this baby going.
Let's just keep it going.
Yes, she basically makes them sell cookies, a little bit of child labour for her. And I love the detail of the box of shame.
Yeah, where they say hi to like whoever the kid is. It's like, hey guys.
We find out that Gru has a bad relationship with his mum, and his mother is played to perfection by Julie Andrews.
So good.
Really, really fun. Bit of a motive here for why family means so much to him later on in the film. Mm-hmm. She berates him for not being the one that stole the pyramid while she's at a karate class. And we get a Wilhelm scream as she kicks the guy through like the punching bag.
It was pretty fun.
But he's off to the Bank of Evil. I want to ask you this. Why is he so shocked when he sees the pillars crushing the people in the bank? We find out he's been back to that bank many, many times. New decor, maybe. They've renovated recently.
They were another bank. Yes. I said the subtle gags are like formerly like Lehman Brothers, pretty famous American bank that were quite unethical, or a lot of it around sort of like the stock market. I thought that was a pretty good gag. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, nice.
One of the few I enjoyed.
You say that, but you've said it a couple times.
It's a good gag.
Yeah, well.
It's smart.
If you have that many few that you enjoy, they're not few at all, are they? I want it on record. Boylan loves this film.
Nah.
While he's waiting, though, we get another flashback of the time spent with his mum, and he says he wants to go to the moon. And she
moon?
Is that what I said?
Yeah, you said the M.
Okay.
The moon.
He wants to go to the moon.
Hey, moon, I want to go to the moon. I'm creating my own fun on this podcast today.
Clearly, and destroying mine at the same time. She says, I'm afraid you're too late. NASA isn't sending the monkeys anymore.
It's like, damn, cold-blooded.
It's pretty funny, though. She might be one of my favourite characters. Her and Hattie are right up there for me. Fair. The sassy characters are my favourite. Sassy mum. But we also meet Vector. Played by Jason Segel.
Yeah, he's good.
Piranha gun! Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Uh-huh! Just all of that.
Got his velour tracksuit on.
They are not pajamas.
Pajamas.
Yeah. That's a through line I didn't expect today.
But Gru's underwhelmed by him, and the shocked look on his face when he finally does go in, and the bank manager mentions that he stole the pyramid. He's like, what? That guy? Really? Yeah. Perkins is played by Will Arnett, another great get. I like that he's holding an apple. Like, there's this running gag in movies that if you're holding an apple, then you must be a villain. So for him to be like the head of this villainous operation and literally just holding an apple the whole scene, perfect. Really, really good. He's basically asking the bank for a loan so that he can build a rocket and steal the moon.
Which he's going to do with the shrink ray. But then Perkins is like, it's great. Can you show me the shrink ray? And he's like, no, I can't.
Yeah, he's pretty fed up. There are a lot of new villains out there. Younger than you, hungrier than you, younger than you. Like that young fellow out there named Vector. Basically, he's saying, no, not going to fund you unless you can get that shrink ray. So
that's what he does.
He goes and steals it. And this is a pretty cool scene where they're like demoing it and the elephant like shrinks down and then runs out. But he doesn't have it for long. Because Vector comes and snatches it from him.
Yep, they have a fun little dogfight in the sky, which I enjoy. And then Vector uses the shrink ray to shrink Gru in his vehicle. And I do like it after it's shrunk. Gru's just kind of like riding it like a tiny little unicycle through the sky. That
happens a few times where something shrinks or grows. Somehow the person inexplicably pops through it.
Basically what happens next...
There's a lot of laughing for a movie you didn't enjoy.
Oh, dear. Obviously, because Vector's got the shrink ray, he wants to go break in and get it. And
we get Rastafarian Gru coming in with his Scotty dog on the leash.
I've been having a bad day, man.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Not Rasta boiling. Oh, no.
But some fun details about Vector's place. I like that you've got the pyramid just sitting in the background painted a sky color. The way he's just like sitting playing Wii like we all do. No one's standing up to play Nintendo Wii.
He's got the shark sort of like going around.
The shark is pretty fun. But we get a montage of Gru trying to sneak in and failing. We get rockets, saw blades, again the shark, and Vector's just like playing the keyboard with his butt. Silly details that you love. You love them.
Yep, I wrote them all down. No. But then he gets a stroke of genius because he sees...
Light bulb.
Correct. Quite a literal light bulb, and sees the girls trying to sell the cookies, and that they can sort of help him steal the race. And then he goes to apply at Miss Hattie's, which is very fun.
She's bored again, guys. Boylan's dancing. Boardland. But yes, he goes to adopt the girls, and it's a very easy process for him. I see you made a list of your personal achievements. Thank you for that. I love reading. You can hold your breath for
30 seconds.
That's not that impressive.
After he's got like a Nobel Peace Prize and all these other things, while he's dressed as like a very stereotypical dentist, like with the thing
Still
on the hair.
wearing the,
That's great.
Really good.
But then like his flirting with Miss Hattie, it's Spanish.
Sure is. And the girls are packing up their stuff and dreaming of their new, warm, inviting parents.
Yep.
And we get the killer line from Agnes. Oh, my caterpillar never turned into a butterfly. That's a Cheeto.
We love Agnes.
Little interlude with Vector shrinking things in his bathroom. Curse you, tiny toilet! The way he says toilet.
Toilets! It's blasted in the face by plumbing that doesn't shrink.
And you were just telling me how funny you found that scene. It's
So
a real
then-
slog for me, just having to get through this with you, just blank expression on your face. He's having a blank day.
He's having a blank face.
So, Gru arrives home with the girls, and Agnes, can I hold your hand? No.
No, you can't. They meet Kyle, the dog,
They do meet Kyle.
who's sort of a dog.
Yeah, he's sort of a dog. Yeah, he's nice enough.
He's yeah.
When we got adopted by a bald guy, I thought this would be more like Annie. I get Gru's frustration with the girls, though. They're very attitudey, especially Margot.
Bit chooty, yeah.
He's like, don't touch anything. What about the floor? Yes, you may touch the floor.
And the
What
air?
about the air?
It's like you don't even touch air.
Yes, you may touch the air. She's really reprising her role from
School of Rock.
Miranda Cosgrove. In that role,
In that role?
I might as well be talking to the wall.
No, that's
Give me
fine.
something. Does
Enjoy.
this count as annoying?
That's one of my favourite parts.
Okay, good.
I pay that. That still pops me every time I see that.
Agnes is
It just reminds me of like,
tremendous
you
role.
don't hear the most annoying sound in the world? And just like her face.
She's so unwaveringly
like-
enthusiastic.
Yes. This is really annoying. Gru's like, okay, you stay up here in the kitchen. I got to go do some stuff.
Because Nefaro's he's made his boogie robots instead of his cookie robots.
The robots are so stupid, but when one of the minions pops in, and I still
Starts dancing.
I've seen that clip so many times of just like the minion just going with real sultry, like.
It's really good, guys.
Probably
You're
one of
missing
my.
a show here. He just won't stop. Okay, so you love that bit.
That's hilarious.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I really like that part for Gru's frustration. Just, why are you so old? We also get to see a bunch of other stuff he's made. So there's the anti-gravity serum. Oh, I meant to close that. Just as the minion goes off into the sky. And then he said, no, I said dart gun. Oh, yes, because I was wondering, what would we use this for?
After that, sort of like the girls act like they make it down into the lab. And they're like, what are you doing here and stuff?
Can I drink this? Do you want to explode?
But Agnes's unicorn gets accidentally vaporized.
Sure does. And this is where we get to test out, would a solo minion film work? We get a little interlude where the minions go to the supermarket.
Which is really funny.
Oh, good. I'd say, what is this nonsense?
But for a little scene,
Oh, yeah.
like when we've got one of them who's just like collapsing on the massage chair and about to fall off, has to pop himself up back again. And then...
Singing Copacabana?
Yeah. Or just banana.
Yeah.
Banana, banana. Because the minions like bananas.
Yeah, that's true. They're
Um,
not just having fun at the supermarket, though. A bunch of them are at home with the girls just throwing toilet paper around.
just keep
It was your
enjoying.
cousin's idea. What?
Again, something that's quite memeable.
But bedtime.
In the bombs.
Yeah, cool beds.
They are very cool. And then Agnes is terrified, and then the minions come in all silhouetted, all stacked up on top of each other. And then it just reveals that it's them and they collapse and stuff. And I really like that one of them's made Agnes like the unicorn.
The toilet brush.
I love
unicorn.
it. It's so cute.
Yeah, it gives a little kiss. I think it's Stuart, and Stuart's gushing.
Maybe. Yeah.
But the next day, he wants to get the girls to go deliver their cookies, but first they're going to go to ballet. I want to know this, though.
Go on.
If they were living in an orphanage...
Yeah. How are they going to ballet?
Exactly right.
Why haven't they escaped?
Who was paying for them to go to ballet? And also, now that they're no longer working in the orphanage, why are they still delivering cookies in the first place?
That's a good point. They don't even question it. They're like, of course we're doing cookies.
Yeah.
We've just moved from
We
one
just gotta
terrible
go to
place to
ballet
another.
first. But all the doting mums, when Agnes invites Gru to the
parents,
recital,
yeah.
but he eventually drops them off at Vector's house and sends them in with the cookie robots. Even the symbol is like a loading cookie on the screen as he's booting them up.
Good.
But this heist is pretty...
I think it's good. I like the way he springs into action. He's like, yeah, and the minions are doing the same thing and stuff, but then they quickly get sealed inside, even though they've got the shrink ray, so they have to try to basically get themselves out.
We get a little bit of a Mission Impossible kind of hanging from the roof
I enjoyed
thing.
that.
And
More of an Agent Cody Banks, actually.
Yeah, that's what that's from.
Yeah!
But he does eventually get out, despite the shark banging into the tank.
Yes, can't alert Vector, because Vector's an idiot.
Idiot.
But success, and
They're leaving.
and they're off to the fun fair.
Yeah, and Margot even goes, what about the other people who ordered cookies? That's not how that works. You go door to door asking
one orders
if people
them.
want them. No one. That's not how cookies work.
That's what Harrison Ford says.
Yeah. So then they go to the fair, and he decides he will actually take them. They're begging him, and he goes, yeah, this might be a good way to actually ditch him. But
Yeah.
they end up having a really good time there and do a little bit of bonding, and we get the...
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die!
It's great, yeah. They clearly hit the alien, and then he's like, did you see it like knock over? Don't think so, like bad luck. And then Gru's like, my turn, and uses like his ray gun to basically blow the entire structure up.
Hell yeah. Knocked
over! Yeah,
over!
that's the one, yeah. Knocked over,
Yeah,
yes.
and then Pharrell plays, and they have some fun, they bond.
On a roller coaster.
Yeah. Eventually they do get back home, and their faces are painted, and they've had a lovely
He's had a good,
day.
and then Pharrell's like, get yourself together! He turns into Edna Mode from The Incredibles.
You are lost again!
You're Gru!
Pull yourself
together.
together, man! Yeah. Your Nefario is better than my Nefario. So Gru has the shrink ray, but Perkins still won't fund him because he's so disorganized and the girls are running around in the
Awful
background.
presentation.
And then I sit on the toilet. So he gets another flashback to his disappointed mom. Look, Mom, I made a real rocket based on the macaroni prototype.
Cannot impress his mum at all. And then goes with, basically Perkins is saying we're going with Vector. And it's quite sad.
He's about to give up.
But the girls like sort of basically G him up. Is like, hey, you know what? You can be a really evil person. You can steal stuff. That's great.
That's what they say. All with the one gesture of Agnes giving the piggy bank.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
And then the
all
minions are getting the
are
cash
like,
out.
Here, take my gold Rolex.
Yeah. Good fun.
They're well funded, the minions.
They are well funded. And Vector's well funded because, well, it's revealed to be he's Perkins' son.
He is,
Bit
yes.
of little Nepo villain.
And he's got his squid launcher. Ah, there's a squid on my face.
That was good. That was good.
But yeah, so there's a montage and they're building rockets and bonding. And the mum even comes over. Huh, he looks like a girl. Yes, he does. An ugly girl. But he really does start to become a parent. I love when he say, did you brush your teeth? Let me smell, let me smell. You did not.
And it's time to read the bedtime story.
It is.
If-
Pretty please.
the
The,
Freddy
physical
Kittens.
appearance of the please makes no difference.
Good gag. I appreciated that.
Yeah, so many good gags. It's almost like it's a good movie.
Sometimes.
But he doesn't like the book.
No, he hates it. This is ridiculous.
This is literature?
A bit of like trauma as well, like when he's going through some of the stuff, like there's, I can't remember the line that they talk about sort of the mum, like in the book.
Oh, you're kissing them goodnight.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah. And he kind of like sits up and he's like, okay, good night.
Yeah. I'm getting too emotional.
Yeah.
Nefario says he's getting too distracted and he organises for the girls to be taken away again by Miss Hattie.
Because he has to basically choose, because Gru's like, can we move the heist like a little bit because of the dance recital, the ballet recital. But yeah, as you said, Nefario basically intervenes and Hattie comes to pick him up.
She's not impressed. I purchased the Spanish dictionary. I didn't like what you said. Do you know what he said?
No.
So he said, como un burro.
Un burro.
Which means she has the face of a donkey.
Nice.
A gag you can't get unless you know Spanish.
Like you do.
Yeah, me. Oh my goodness.
got the Spanish coming out the wazoo.
Me in Espanol. Oh my goodness. Anyway, the girls leaving is quite a sad moment.
It is. He's like dragging away and like, don't let him take us. And he's like, no, it's going to happen.
You get a Godfather reference. He wakes up the next morning, launch day, pulls off the covers, and there's a head in the bed. It's like a Barbie doll.
That's right, yeah. I forgot about that.
You repressed it with the rest of the film.
Maybe.
So, Gru goes into space to steal the moon, and you must love the way it's animated here with the...
Looks great.
The moon shrinking. I felt like the minions all watching it on the TV screen go, oh...
Oh, like the green aliens from Toy Story, yeah. Vector's like stowed away, but he kind of gets rid of him as well, which is great. But yeah, steals the moon, but they basically work out that the shrink ray actually wears off. It's not permanent.
It does wear off, which is good for that werewolf. He'll be back in no time. Do you like that, when the moon shrinks and the werewolf turns back into a man?
Enjoy that.
So he sees the ticket to the girls' recital and tries to get back in time, but he's too late. It's a real jingle all the way moment. Deadbeat dads for the win, hey?
Woohoo! And he sees the note and flips it over. It turns out that basically Vector has taken the kids.
He has. So he goes over to Vector's house and trades the moon for them, but Vector double crosses him.
He said, no, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping the kids.
Gru goes into full dad mode here.
Full dad.
It's a pretty cool shot, the slow motion rocket dodging. He punched my shark! Whoosh.
Turns into an absolute super dad.
He sure does. And
gives chase.
Vector tries to run, and we get a nice little callback to the pyramid. So he's like climbing it so he can jump onto the ship.
Yep.
Vector shakes him off, but luckily Nefario swoops in to save him, and they're on his tail. So the girls manage to break out because the moon is expanding.
Exactly, the ray's wearing off.
And they are able to kind of jump across, and Margot's a little hesitant, but Gru's like, I will never let go again. And she's like, all right. And goes to jump, but then falls, and Gru has to dive and save her.
And does.
We get a little minion ladder, like the monkeys from Toy Story.
Yeah, enjoy.
But it's at that point that the moon gets to full form again, and Vector basically gets shot back up into space. And
he's on the moon.
He's on the moon. Oh, poop. Stuck there, ready to dance in the final scene.
Does he come back in a sequel at all?
He does for a very brief moment.
Okay.
I can't remember if it's 3 or 4, but he does make a brief cameo. No voice acting, just
there in his jump.
Just dancing in the background.
They are not pajamas.
And they are not pajamas.
They end with a bit of another bedtime story with a new book, basically about Gru that he's written essentially.
Yes, because the old one was accidentally destroyed maliciously.
I love accidentally destroying books maliciously.
So good. What are you talking about? These kittens, any relation to persons living or dead is completely coincidental.
And then they have a recital as well, basically.
Oh, not before he kisses them all good night.
Oh, yeah,
it's a sweet moment.
It's very sweet.
And as he goes outside, all the minions are lined up ready for their good night kiss.
That's great.
Didn't I get you already? So yes, we do finish with a private viewing of the recital. He's dancing again, guys. He's dancing. It's the Bee Gees comes on.
Yes, of course it would. What else would come on?
Gru crumping. It's the glare. I know, I'm going nuts.
Mr. Brown is smacked into a wall crumping.
Vector dancing to zero gravity on the moon. Pretty fun.
It's a fun little sequence, and the movie's at a close.
But don't you worry, mate. There's 3 more Despicable Me movies you can go see.
It's really funny because, my lack of enthusiasm discussing the film is surely obvious, but I do actually want to watch the sequels because I'm interested about the world that is established in this film. I do like the animation style and I like all the villains and stuff like that, because one thing I did enjoy when I went to Universal Studios and was in America a couple of years ago, I liked the way they'd set up the park in that area of the park, sort of to have all the minions and all the different iconography and everything. So that was fun. Enjoyed sitting in the Minion Cafe. Fun little Minion beverage that I'll share now.
I don't know what you're talking about. How are you sharing the
I'll
beverage?
give you an image and you can sort of show them in the podcast.
There won't be an image.
There won't
it's
be?
an audio podcast.
You should just put, this should be the only image that you put in there.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen? Oh, okay. I enjoyed my time in the Minion Cafe and the whole world of Despicable Me, and particularly with all the villains and Villain Con and everything like that.
I think this and the third are probably the strongest. The third, for me, I really like because of the villain. So Trey Parker plays the villain in the third film.
Ooh,
he was a child actor named Balthazar Bratt. And as he's grown up and his fame has dissipated, he's stuck in the 80s. And yeah.
Oh, okay. You've got me there. I'm intrigued.
It's good fun.
But obviously, yeah, this film came out in 2010, but the franchise is like crazy. It's made over $5 billion, which is the first animated franchise in history to do so. So it clearly has staying power. 3 sequels, 2 spin-off prequels, obviously with the Minions, video games, multiple theme park attractions. This is a big ticket for Illumination.
I really love this film. I like them all, but I think 1 and 3 are the strongest. Maddie loves them too, so they're pretty regular occurrences in our household. I would happily do another one of these on the pod, but I'll tell you,
Let's give it time.
Yeah, I don't want to do it with you, man. It's a disaster.
Hey, I might like the second one more.
I don't want to find out. Anyway,
I'll let you know.
Shall we move on to Tantalising Trailers?
We shall.
Tantalising films. Trailers. Don't know if we will be a fan. How will it be? We'll know in time.
Okay, so we've got quite a few on the list today. We tend to speed through trailers a little quick. A little quicker than other segments, especially because quite a few of mine aren't full trailers. They're like little teasers.
Or date announcements.
Yeah, exactly right. So I'm going to kick things off with It, Welcome to Derry.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome still. So it's a 9-episode mini-series set in the 60s. That's probably one of the things I'm most excited about, that 60s setting. It means that there's a little more room for sort of that racial tension that we've seen alluded to in other It iterations. But
That's good.
Thanks, man. I'm so glad something was good from the pod for you today. But the other thing that I really am geared up about is that obviously the central focus is around kids again. There was quite a sizable gap in quality for me between
Chapter 1 and 2.
Exactly
Part
right.
1, part 2,
and I think part of that was that when they were adults, they just weren't as compelling as the children characters.
Yeah, like the whole Losers Club thing, like it's the Stranger Things, Goonies kind of vibe, E.T. and stuff that you really sort of go with that, like, because they're kids facing this really terrifying evil compared to adults. Like, as much as I did enjoy the comparisons between sort of the child actors and the adult actors in part 2, but I get it.
The only thing I'm a little wary of with this is obviously it's 9 episodes. So how much they're going to kind of stretch things out, or even the repetition.
A tight 6 would be better.
Yeah, and some of the stuff in the ad as well feels like things that we've seen
Before.
in the movies. So yeah, I'm curious, but I'm also cautious about this one.
That's fair. It's a good place to be. My first trailer I'll talk about is a new Darren Aronofsky film called Caught Stealing. Got a great cast.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith. Matt Smith looking nothing like Matt Smith, which is great fun.
Yeah. It
Set
looks
photos.
like he's had a couple of rough years in the mix, hasn't he?
Yeah, looks like sort of Austin Butler's kind of just sort of cruising along, and then he gets kind of wrapped up in whatever Matt Smith's character's sort of involved with, I guess, and that he kind of has to be like an unlikely sort of participant in a number of action set pieces and stuff like that. So I don't know, it was like a good blend of like comedy and action, it seemed. Zoe Kravitz is great, but just something fun to watch.
Yeah, nice. I'm really geared up for Squid Game Season 3. It really feels like Squid Game Season 2.5.
2.2,
yeah.
I haven't watched Season 2 yet, so
Oh, really?
no, I haven't got around to it.
Okay. Yeah, I was very excited to watch it. I watched it in the first couple of days it came out. And because the narrative is sort of halted in the middle and you don't feel like you're getting much closure, it's pretty good in terms of keeping people really interested. And because of the quick turnaround between 2 and 3, I think that's going to work. One of the other entries on my list today, I think the most disappointing thing about that is that it takes so long for each of the seasons to come out. So for this one, and we'll get there, but for this one, I think it's just the right amount of time to keep people interested and engaged. And they've done teaser trailers, they've done full trailers, so there's enough that people aren't forgetting about it.
Yep.
And I'm a little bit jealous of you that you get to kind of just smash through both of them back to back.
I was going to say, though,
That should be good fun.
Yeah, I think, and that's probably what I will do. Speaking about sequels, I've got a couple of sequels actually on the list, but one of them, speaking about things that are going to be on Netflix, Happy Gilmore 2 got a full trailer. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty geared up for this. Like, I wasn't...
So am I.
Like, I had very, low expectations. I think that Adam Sandler's recent projects have been really good, but I get really nervous about, 90s comedies that have got, long-awaited sequels. Like, I think of, the Dumb and Dumber sequel that came out, 10 years ago that sucked. And it's just they're
But
trying...
it always looked like it was going to.
I know, but they're going to redo the same gags and stuff like that.
Oh, and there's a fair few of their greatest hits being played in this trailer.
100%.
But I mean, what did we really expect from it? I feel like hopefully there'll be a bit of a balance of both, but they've come up with another reason for him to need to enter the tournament. It's been a little while that he's played. It looks like it's going to be a real family affair. I think I spotted both his daughters and his wife in the trailer.
And multiple sons, I think.
Oh, sorry, I meant his real family.
Oh, his real family. Yeah. So you've got, and also as well, I think playing one of his kids is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, one of my favourite wrestlers who wrestles for AEW. Fantastic on the mic in wrestling. He actually was in Iron Claw. He played a short role in there.
Right.
So he's getting his acting chops done. So I'm keen to see how that goes. There's actually a WWE wrestler in this as well. So
there was a few surprise cameos in the trailer. Didn't expect Margaret Qualley to pop up.
And
Ben Stiller's back from reprising his role from the original.
Who was standing with Margaret Qualley is one of the guys from Please Don't Destroy from SNL as well.
Ah, there you go.
So yeah,
it seems like there's a few returning characters. There looks like someone who's supposed to be the Jaws.
Oh yeah. And then Chubbs' son. And
everyone's back.
Looks like they've got a lot more real-world golfer involvement in it as well. There was a lot of pros who were involved in this, I think, compared to the first film. So the PGA are part of it a little bit more and stuff like that. So I think that's a cool thing. One
detail that I don't know if it's supposed to be a secret. I mean, I don't even know if it's confirmed, but I'm really getting the vibes that Virginia's dead.
Yep. With the dream sequence, he sort of, that's the same light as when he's having his happy place.
I think it looks like his real life wife is playing his wife in the movie.
Okay.
And it looks like maybe he's talking to his daughter about Virginia and she would have been proud, or go to your happy place because she's in my happy place. And the only other times you see her are in what looks like de-aged flashback sequences. So, apparently there are going to be a few of those. So she can still be involved in the film even if she is deceased. But, interesting choice to do that.
Yeah. We're watching this whole trailer and I think we're missing someone. And then obviously Christopher McDonald comes out at the end sort of as the last sort of stinger with a bit of a punch on with Happy. So I'm keen to sort of see how his involvement is. I mean, Shooter's one of the best parts, if not the best part about Happy Gilmore in the original film. So keen to see how he's involved.
I feel like they're going to team up. He's going to ask him for help because he's kind of lost his flair. Maybe he'll teach him to putt.
That'd be fun.
Next for me, and this one's a couple of weeks old, but The Long Walk. It's based on a Stephen King short story.
There's a few Stephen King things coming out.
Yeah, what I find really interesting about this is the concept for it sounds like a short story. So the fact that it's a feature-length film is really interesting. So the idea is that everyone is kind of walking for a prize, but if you stop walking, they will shoot you. So if you fall behind the line, they will shoot you.
The Long Walk?
Yeah, it's very Squid Game in that there's only one survivor. So it makes you wonder, why would you enter this competition? And they're all kind of walking and there's camaraderie and it's happy and it's but you are all going to die except one of you. Why would you ever enter into that? The odds are not in your favor.
That's intriguing.
Dark concept, I love that. And some of Stephen King's best stuff, I think, are his short stories. So
100%.
this will hopefully be a really nice adaptation there.
I love that. I'm very, very keen on that. Next one for me, I won't spend too long talking about it because I just found out today that you hadn't seen the first of these films. And that's the sequel to The Black Phone. So The Black Phone number 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. I'm really keen on this. I think the trailer looks genuinely epic. It's probably one of the best trailers I think I've seen in like a really long time, to be perfectly honest, in terms of just like showing me lots to get me interested, but not showing me too much that I hate things. And that's really important because they're just showing, I mean, we've spoken at length about the fact that trailers feel like, well, a lot of the time we're going to stop watching a trailer because it feels like we're spoiling the whole damn film. This is not that. The first one is set in the 70s. This one looks like it's about 20 years later. Same cast, I believe, sort of shared across it, but set in the 90s. And this is particularly good at the moment for me because it featured a song called Rooster by Alice in Chains. I'm heavily listening to a lot of Alice in Chains at the moment. This really like scratched my brain in the right place. I was like, oh yeah. It shows a lot about sort of what's going to happen, obviously, with the villain of the film, played by Ethan Hawke, who was career best performance, I think, in the first film. He's excellent. And there's like more of a supernatural sort of element. I mean, there was already a supernatural involvement, obviously, with the phone in question, but sort of how he plays into things, and I won't sort of talk about that any further, given sort of you've got to watch it. It really showed me good flashes of things that are going to be quite terrifying, but didn't show me too much about what's sort of going on with the plot and where it's sort of going, particularly because I was not really super hyped on watching a sequel for this film, given the fact of sort of how tight the first film feels as a standalone project. Looks really good, and Scott Derrickson's still at the helm. Really hyped for this film.
Yeah, nice. Another teaser for me next. Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery.
Bit keen for this one, aren't you?
I am. Look, I love Knives Out. I really liked the second one as well. Obviously not as good as the first, but I still really enjoyed it. There's not a whole lot that you get in this trailer. You get a couple of the cast members. You see a little bit of Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington. No Kaylee Spaney yet, unless she's in one of the silhouette shots that allude to something but don't actually show it. But the big thing, Blanc's hair is longer.
I love it.
You love it?
Oh, I love it.
It's kind of cool to get a little bit of a different vibe from it. The first two, the trailers felt very similar, but this one feels darker.
Yeah. First two quite bright films, yeah.
Yeah, religious undertones in this one. It was advertised not as a trailer, not even as a teaser, but as a date announcement. And I got to the end of it and I was like, where are the dates? They're hidden in there in Roman numerals.
It's all the clues.
Yeah, it's all clues. I couldn't put it together. I'm no Benoit Blanc myself.
You've got to hit keys on a piano to get things back in motion.
But because of the way that they were shown, like they showed it as 3 separate Roman numerals, thank God it's coming out on the 12th of December. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known whether they were putting the month first, the day first. But yeah, I'm sad that we have to wait that long, but I'm pretty geared up for this one.
It's a good birthday present for me. Day after my birthday, I'm going to watch that film.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. The next one for me is also part of sort of the Netflix slate of trailers. We got the big To Doom event is what they call it. That's literally what the event's called.
There you go.
Is a new Frankenstein film.
Guillermo del Toro.
And it looks so good. I mean,
it does look good.
Like prod design for a Guillermo del Toro film shouldn't be anything that surprises how good it looks. Oscar Isaac, I've been keen to watch and stuff because I feel like he's been pretty quiet sort of. Hasn't done a lot like the last couple of years.
He did Spider-Verse.
Yeah, he did. Just in terms of things I could see him act on screen.
Gotcha.
Because I love Oscar Isaac. But yeah, playing Dr. Frankenstein.
It's pronounced Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Thank you, Gene Wilder. Jacob Elordi as the monster himself.
Mia Goth. That was fun. Mia the Goth.
Mia the Goth.
It's a wrestling name.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Charles Dance, Christoph Waltz, like really good cast involved in this.
Yeah.
And it just looks really epic.
I think it was the shot of the frozen horse that really got me.
I was like, oh yeah.
Chills.
Literal chills. Like not as many as the horse.
The horse, yeah.
That was the problem.
Woo!
Too many chills. Too many.
Someone had showed that horse the trailer and he froze to death.
Couldn't handle it. But yeah, I think this looks awesome. Very, very excited for this to come out. Pretty stoked to spend some more time with a good Frankenstein. You've got me. Frankenstein movie. I mean, will it be as good as the Frankenstein and Van Helsing? We'll have to wait and see.
Second last for me, Strange Things Season 5 got a teaser trailer. You were saying it's not even a tease. I was frustrated
It's a date
watching
announcement.
this for two reasons. It showed mainly footage from the other seasons. There were a couple of new clips in the mix.
Bit of
But it
Joyce.
also reminded me of just how long we've been waiting for it. And not just this season, but every season. Like, I really like Strange Things. I've always
Me
really
too.
engaged with it. I feel like I'm over it, and then I start watching the new season, and I manage to get back into it pretty quickly. But it is so infuriating how long we have to wait for them. I don't think there's another television series or movie series that is in production for as long as these are.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And you look at how old the kids are now finishing the film.
Yeah.
I want all these actors to go and do other things, but they're like handcuffed to this franchise, and it's just like, let's just finish this bad boy up.
Well, they are doing other things. Like, it hasn't stopped Millie Bobby Brown.
Finn Wolfhard's done a few different things. Making some good music.
I've got the snuffles.
Yeah, the snuffles. Oh, no. I've got one more on my docket, and it's called The Home. Same producers as tackled The Purge, but it just looks like a fun concept for a horror film. Like Pete Davidson's doing community service at a retirement home, and just turns out it's a bit sus.
You had me at Pete Davidson.
Yeah. And
I love him.
Yeah.
So good.
So yeah, he's doing like a serious like horror movie role, and it just looks like a bit of fun. Keen to see him do a few different other things. Obviously, he's done a couple of different roles sort of after SNL. He's done like The King of Staten Island. But yeah, I'm keen to see him do some more things in like genre films. So yeah, I think having him in a horror movie is great after he was in Bodies, which I really, really enjoyed. Bodies, which I really, really enjoyed. Yeah, that's good. Just trying to link up the amount of bodies with the realies. Love a joke that I've got to explain.
But you didn't do it.
I didn't do enough realies, did I?
You didn't do it the third time either.
Bodies, which I really, really, really enjoyed.
Nice.
That's the one you're going to leave in there.
Yeah.
There's one.
Like, I love when I have to explain a joke. Well, if you'd gotten the joke right, I might have understood it.
Oh, no, gone.
I'm leaving all of this in.
This is me crashing out. Yeah. Anyway, this looks like a bit of a fun film, like your creepy old folks home. I mean, old folks homes are pretty creepy regardless, but this one looks extra creepy, and it looks like a bit of fun.
Nice. My last one is Dexter Resurrection, and I left this for last because out of all these trailers, it's probably the one that I'm most excited for. Because I didn't really think I would be this excited for it, but the trailer's damn good.
I'm confused. So there's a Dexter prequel show that's either out at the moment or has already been out?
Has already been out, and they're probably going to make more seasons of that.
Okay, and this is not a prequel, this is a sequel series.
This is a sequel.
So he's alive.
Correct.
Okay.
He's been resurrected. Yeah, the original series ended in a very disappointing way. They ended up releasing a sequel series that was a very different feel to the original series. Rather than the sunny kind of locale, it was out in the snow. It was quite cool. This is following on from that, and we're moving once again to a new location. So it's now going to be set in New York. And it looks like he has kind of met up with a group of other serial killers. So there's almost like a fanatic, played by Peter Dinklage.
Cool.
And he is recruiting all of these serial killers because he's a fan of their work. So you've got people like Kristen Ritter, you got Neil Patrick Harris, Uma Thurman's in it.
Are those previous actors you mentioned, have they been in the original series?
No, so these are all new characters.
Cool.
But fun details are there are going to be some returning characters as well. So like Batista's coming back. The kid who played his son, Harrison's coming back. But also, it looks like there might be some cameos from old killers that he's faced. So every season of Dexter has like the big bad, and it looks like they might be coming back. If you're familiar with the show, you know he has a lot of like visions and talks to characters. And so I think they might be going with that. So they might be bringing back people like John Lithgow. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. And
cool.
Like you, I really love stuff that's set in New York. And I think this is kind of like a city that he'll thrive in.
Cool. I've never watched Dexter. I remember every time you talk about it, my interest is peaked. So I've been looking for a couple of shows to get onto. So it might be the time to get onto it.
It's a good one, and you got plenty to watch.
I really do.
Cool. That's it from both of us, guys. So as always, I would just remind you to like, subscribe, share it around, and make sure you are commenting with ideas for future films. We probably will try and keep it to audio pods for a little bit longer, but if a really great one comes up, that always gets us back behind the camera again, or in front of the camera even. Both, because we recorded ourselves as well. Now, Mr. Boyle and I do have to head off, but in the words of Agnes, goodbye recorded message. Thanks, guys, and catch you at the next film club.